Do you have an intro written out?
No.
God damn it.
There's nothing that is good that I can like goof off of.
Well, we're not supposed to goof on this one.
It's true. This is gonna be a very light goof.
That's fine.
Easy.
We can do a.
It's okay. I wrote one myself. Hold up.
Yeah. Can you read it for us, please?
Okay, hold up. Let me find it.
Say it.
Can you stop? I need to read.
He's really proud of this one.
I need some water. Hold up. I'm good. Okay, ready, guys?
Okay.
This is gonna be the most serious intro in the world.
All right. Go ahead. He's still just giggling. Is that the joke? Is it just you giggling?
No, I got it. Okay. All right, on the count of 3, okay? You guys count.
1,
3,
2, 3.
In the criminal justice system, sexually based offenses are considered especially heinous. In New York City, these dedicated detectives who investigate these vicious felons are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victim Unit. These are their stories. Boom, boom.
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast.
I can't believe we started the podcast.
Guys, that's the intro.
That's what we're doing? We're sticking with that?
Pino thought it would be really funny. That would be the bit.
That's not the bit.
It's the bit. We gotta keep going. We don't have necks.
No.
We're sharks.
What? Oh yeah, sharks return. No, that's not the opening. That'd be really bad.
I enjoyed it though.
Joining us today on our tour in the abyss. Today we're going to be going down to only the first layer because after that you will fucking die. So to the left you can see cliffs, and to the right you can also see cliffs. And
look at them.
If you look up, you can see the sky.
What?
Yeah,
That's a sky.
yeah, and then if you look down, you can see the infinite pit that goes straight to hell.
That's just like my soul.
Yeah, anyway, make sure you have your pickaxes. Make sure you have your best friend by your side. Don't leave them because you'll both die.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Garb, get closer to me right now.
I'm holding your hand. I got you, friend.
That's not my hand.
You all have your buddies?
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
Okay, well, have fun.
Okay.
Hey guys. Welcome to the podcast. That was a bad bit. You know it. I know. We all know it.
We all know it. It wasn't like the 5th time we tried it. You know?
No, it wasn't. And the sad thing is, that was the best one we had.
It's debatable.
Yeah,
I
cause
miss you, Rico.
yeah, because the Gary come home cut was really the icing on top of the
Riveting.
Made in Abyss cake.
I was talking about the Law and Order one.
Yeah, the one where you just recited the Law and Order opening. You fucking moron. Okay, guys, welcome to the Funky Anime Podcast. We are the 3 Weebros. We fucking watch an anime every other week because we hate ourselves.
Yeah.
This week, we watched a good episode. We watched a good anime. It was Made in Abyss. But first, I haven't introduced everyone. I am your fearless leader, White Whistle. I'm Chuck. And
He's gonna make me a fucking red whistle, isn't he?
I'm here to guide you all. A slightly more experienced than your average caver, we actually have a blue whistle here today, and that is Pino.
Hey,
He's fucking gonna.
It's me.
I swear to God.
Look at me.
And the corpse that we found under one of these rocks, well, that's Garb.
What is that?
Thank God I'm in this praying position.
Oh, not again. I mean,
that's the 5th time this week.
I told him not to use the soap.
What did you say?
What? That's up to interpretation.
Okay, guys, we watched Made in Abyss. It was a show, all right. And
Oh, it was. It was a show.
yes,
My heart and soul has been ripped out, and like I have no energy left in my body.
yeah. If you can tell, this is gonna be a little bit more of a somber episode than you usually get from like last week's. Last week's was
Last week's was a train wreck.
It will probably be an episode.
yeah. I would hope this is a stupid episode. Okay,
We haven't had an episode since JoJo.
some doesn't even say that JoJo's even an episode. To be fair, this might be the first episode.
Yeah.
This is the first. This is episode 14. If this was anime season, this would be season 2.
Hey guys, welcome to the 2nd season of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Phantom Blood.
Cool. I thought that was season 1.
Fuck.
Guys, we messed
This
up.
is podcast
Guys,
tendencies.
I'm
Don't worry. I got it. I got it.
Guys, I'm really tired, but we're gonna talk about Made in Abyss today because we watched it and we all have opinions on it. So if you want to hear
Yes,
those, stay tuned because that's what we're doing.
Some of our opinions will be stinkier than another.
Yeah, I was the one, as you could tell, because I'm talking a lot, and that usually only happens when it's my anime that I picked. I picked it this week. And, first off, before I say anything, watch this. Before
major spoilers are gonna be here.
Yeah.
Like, we goof around a lot, like, Dragon Ball, fucking, we didn't give a shit about spoilers.
Everyone's seen Dragon Ball or gathered it up like through osmosis, you know. But
I just play the video game sometimes, and that's how I learn.
That works.
So, Made in Abyss is something that you should either read or watch before you listen to this. Like, you can shut off now. My feelings will not be hurt. Just fucking watch it and then come back if you're so inclined to. So
Yeah.
I picked this anime because to me it seemed like something that I feel would lead to good conversations and like some good discussions. Because it's just, I feel like it's a strong anime and it is just something that I thought would be something really neat and unique to listen to for the podcast, or watch rather.
Yeah.
So
It's a good one. Yeah.
that's what we're doing. So, did you guys hear anything much about it before
Nope.
watching it for this podcast?
I didn't hear or see a single thing about it, and you told me. And in fact, Pino and I both thought that it was called Made in Abyss, as MAID, and we thought it was
that's
going to
what I
be
assumed
about
as
maids.
I was like, yes, another maid one. And I'm like,
No.
but they're all so young.
Yeah, they just thought this would be a fun romp through Maidtown, but it was not.
I didn't look
This was a
anything
nice-
up. I just jumped right into it, and honestly, I'm glad I did that.
Oh yeah, it's definitely something that you should watch, like raw. Like, don't look up anything. Just watch it if it sounds anywhere remotely interesting to you.
Even if you don't, give it a shot. It may suck you in.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I also want to add, yeah, I was as blind as Garb, but like I would always hear around any Discord I was in, or if I was talking with my friends, they'd always mention Made in Abyss, and like they always, I feel like, I don't know, they were like really enamored with this, and I was like, you know what, maybe one day I'll give this a watch. But for now, like I was just doing my own thing. But this was a good time. I'm just gonna say that right now. It was a good time.
Yeah. The funny thing, like I watched this first back in January, so it was a little bit after it stopped airing because it aired during the summer 2017 season and it ended September 29th. So I watched it a couple months after. The hype kind of died down a little bit, but there was another show airing around that time called Girls Last Tour that I wanted to watch, and I accidentally downloaded all of Made in Abyss instead of Girls Last Tour.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Weird.
And I was like, oh, this is...
Did you watch the wrong anime?
Yeah. Like, I started it, and I'm like, this isn't... Because the art style, at least, like, for the faces of the anime characters are, like, pretty close. So I was like, oh, they're probably the same thing. They were not. They're not the same thing.
No.
They were not, Lisa. They were not.
I still haven't watched Girls Last Tour.
Oh, no.
Maybe someday. Whatever. But I enjoyed it for when I did watch it. But let's go into a little bit of a background before we start really getting into the meat and bones of this discussion.
Oh, we're going to get into some bones.
Yeah, so like I said before, Made in Abyss was a summer 2017 anime, 13 episodes, aired
Very
from July
recent.
7th to September 29th, 2017.
This might be the most recently aired show that we've watched so far. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I believe so, right? Yeah.
Yeah, the only one I think that will beat it will be in, I think, 3 weeks, the next thing that we watch.
Yeah.
The
But,
thing after the next one that I host will be the most recent.
Yeah. So, Made in Abyss. It was a web manga before.
Yep, I noticed that
Really?
while I was watching the
A
credits.
web?
Actually,
That's fascinating, actually. So it was just on the internet for everyone to just enjoy?
Yeah. And then Sentai Filmworks and Kinema Citrus were like, "Oh, hell yeah, dude!"
hold on.
So they did.
They're like, hell
Yeah. So Sentai was like the licensor, and they've been the license for a trillion anime. You know, like No Game No Life. They did K-On! You know, Gintama. All this, like, this is licensing though. So these aren't like the animators or anything like that.
Well, I mean, they still like had a hand in that in
Oh, yeah.
a way or another. They helped
Yeah.
it to exist, and those are some big names you just listed already.
Those are some large, big boys. But the actual animators, for what I can tell, is Kinema Citrus, which they haven't done a whole lot of stuff that you would know off the top of your head. Actually, looking through it, I don't really can see anything that pops out to me except for
no.
Yu
Black
Shiki.
Bullet kinda pops out to
Black
me.
Bullet sounds familiar, but I've never...
That's a good one. I'll say that. It's a good one.
Cool. Yeah, but there's nothing big like the last couple of weeks that we've like listed out, like Madhouse and
Eureka 7, probably, maybe some listeners enjoy that, probably.
yeah. And
Let me
it's
see.
but with Made in Abyss, it seemed to kind of pop out of nowhere for this kind of adaptation. It was just announced, and they're like,
Oh,
"Sweet, dude,
it's there.
it's there, guys." So that's what they did. They made it, and it was actually voted the best anime of 2017 in Crunchyroll's Anime Awards,
And I understand why now after
Yeah.
watching this.
and as well as best soundtrack.
Yeah, the soundtrack was fucking. That was the first thing that like I wrote down in my notes. Was that first moment in the soundtrack is already amazing.
It is absolutely stunning. For
It's
that
very
reason.
harmonic, like everything very.
Yeah.
It just feels good on the ears.
Especially with some of the vocals added into it. I
my
really
God,
enjoyed that.
yes.
It was phenomenal.
It just makes me feel very good. Until it didn't.
Until it's like, oh,
Surprise.
Yeah.
yeah. So I just want to talk about one part in particular before we get really any further. In the first episode, they have the opening scenes with Rico finding Regu or Reg, however you want to pronounce it.
It very
And-
much throws you in the first part, and I
yeah,
really like that.
and you're like, oh, well, here we are. And you experience this high action, high tension, very well animated sequence with a monster chasing Rico, and then Reg like saving her essentially.
It doesn't start off with any of that, like, hi,
Bullshit.
I'm Kwanjai Lonji. Bullshit. You know?
And this is my second year at Heijawa Academy.
It doesn't start out with any of that. It just goes in.
Yeah.
Like, it
It
doesn't
throws
take the
you
time.
in.
It doesn't waste any time doing all that shit. It's just like, here's what it is.
It is able to use the opening scene as exposition for what it is, and I think that's really cool. And after the very big scene, it then starts doing one of the most beautiful sequences I've seen in anime in a very long time. They now use the main theme, Made in Abyss, like the main sound that they have with the artists and the vocals, and it shows shots of Rico and what's the other guy's name? Rico.
Robo Boy?
They kind of just
Robo Boy
disappear.
or
Well, no, Rico and now I feel bad.
Ren?
White hair boy.
And Nat, Rico and Nat,
Nat.
carrying Reg back up to basically to their orphanage where they live, and that entire sequence, that was such a beautiful, like animated and choreographed, and like the cinematography and that single sequence sold me on the show, like immediately.
And you downloaded this incorrectly on accident, and you
Yes.
still were like, all right.
And no.
Then again, you're pretty like, you go with the flow, baby.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like when did I watch this? I think I watched this
You said
after
January.
Yeah, because I think if I remember correctly, I just finished Love Live season 2
Oh,
or Love
no.
Live Sunshine season 2, so I was already emotionally distraught,
Oh no.
like
Nice.
really distraught.
Don't you just hate
And
when
then-
Destiny does that to you?
And then I saw this opening scene that was so beautiful. I cried. It was
This is a terrible follow up to
oh my
watching
goodness.
something like that.
It destroyed my soul, but it was so beautiful and so I was so awestruck that I couldn't like do anything about it. I was just like, holy shit, this is gonna be one of the coolest, like most memorable experiences I'll have. And that's just through like the first maybe 5 minutes. You
Wow.
don't get that like anywhere.
Like, look at, like, for example, the last thing we watched was Dragon Ball, where, like, the opening is, like, just total out of context shit, and then, like, Raditz coming down on the planet, and then there's a farmer dude. Like,
Yeah.
not a
The
very
power level was
great
fine.
opening.
Yeah.
Then, like, this, yeah.
It was a great introduction to how this entire world was set up. But now I realize I'm getting off track for
It's cool, man.
this. Yeah, you know.
Gotta go with the flow, baby.
So let's just go right into the presentation because there's a lot to talk about with this. 'Cause
There's a lot to talk about. I have a feeling. But what did you think, Chad? I'll let you go first before. I have a feeling that Pino is going to say something.
You know I'm a sucker for backgrounds. Like,
Yes.
like
That was one
That
of the
is-
things I specifically thought of while I was watching that.
that is one of the things that like you can get me engrossed in the show. Like, yes, animation's great. I love character designs. I love all that. But having such awe-inducing like backgrounds to set the mood and this entire atmosphere of Made in Abyss, everything in the show is so detailed and so unique that it looks like, yes, maybe it could be in the real world, but at the same time you're like, this could never exist. It is such a interesting kind of hodgepodge of those two ideas.
It's grounded in reality, but it kind of exaggerates everything in a certain way.
Especially like even just like the first layer where it's just cliffs and grass and, you know, a couple monsters. You still feel like this could never be real world. Like, this is too gorgeous and too lush and too beautiful to ever exist on Earth. And it's just so crazy, and it gets even better and better the deeper you go down into the abyss.
Yeah, because there's lots of different environments, which I really enjoyed. Like, later, the, like, second half, I guess, of
Yeah.
the first season. You know, there's a lot of different environments. Whenever they go into the different layers of the abyss, there's, like, the inverted forest, and then there's, like, the last area they were kind of in, the it's like Goblet of Kings, I think. But yeah, each of those environments is very unique and have their own tone that is reflected on in the events of what's going on in the show as well, which is really interesting. Is Pino alive?
No, I'm Don't think I'm just you know, ingesting everything you guys said. Don't worry.
It's just
Is it my
go
turn?
for it, man. That's why we stopped.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I agree with most of what you guys said. However, when the presentation, yes, the backgrounds were gorgeous. The world was very engrossing. Like, I really enjoyed what they created. But through my watch through, like, it felt like, I don't know, like as a game designer, I kept thinking like, wow, like I could see this as like, you could like transform this world into some sort of like game
It would be a
world.
roguelike.
You know what I mean?
I actually have a
Yeah,
note
it would-
that says like this would make a good roguelike game where you try to go down in the abyss.
exactly. And the art actually really reminded me of several RPGs I've played on Steam over the years, which you know at times could be maybe a little, like, in my opinion, some of the art styles they use, you know, it's probably not my jam, but like it reminds me of like other things I've seen.
Yeah.
Which, you know, like it's either hit or miss, but like you have to commend them for
trying
being able to
something
like trying something different, and then having like I'm gonna say they have success in mixing it like maybe 80-90% of the time, mixing it and meshing it really well with the entire show as a whole. But you know, there's some so I want to get ahead of myself, but I'm gonna stop right there.
The first episode, I really was not into the art style. Aside from the backgrounds were gorgeous, and I thought, oh man, Chuck's gonna talk about that. But like the actual characters, the faces look very strange. They don't look like anything I'd really seen in an anime quite like it. But what was really off-putting to me was that like they still use the stereotypical like anime faces and like reaction faces. That really threw me off, and I was like, what the fuck is this? But I got used to it as it went on, and you know, I thought that maybe like, okay, it's the first episode, it might just be a little rough because, you know, they were kind of getting into it still, and you know, but I did get used to it and enjoy it later on, especially like as things got gruesome. It was a very nice contrast. It was like the really gruesome shit happening, but then everything's still looking very cute. It's very kind of disturbing in a way. Whereas, like, I keep talking about Dragon Ball, but it was what we previously watched, so it's a good frame of reference. You know, everything kind of looks edgy in that show already, so, like, whenever you see, like, Tien's fucking arm getting chopped off, you know, it makes sense in terms of, like, the tone that the animation is putting out. But in Amidst Abyss, it's kind of a little conflicting, but I think it works in the favor because it really hits home more whenever there is something gruesome going on.
Yeah. There's I you know, as I always do, I delved a little bit into the manga and just looked at that same exact art style. Like,
Interesting.
it is such a faithful adaptation of the character designs from the manga that like it is extremely loyal, and I think that is like one of the coolest and most commendable things, because obviously you could have made it, you know, another fucking just normal anime hair bullshit ass one that looks like everything else, but like Garb said, the uniqueness and that kind of cutesy style mixed with the very dark tones of this show is something that adds to the kind of chilling factor of some of the scenes and some of the episodes.
The juxtaposition of like the cute art style and then the gruesome dark themes.
In my personal watch through, from episode 1, contrary to Chuck's like very much like falling in love with the show, with like all the scenes and whatnot, I always had a looming sense of like uncomfortability. Like I was very uncomfortable going into this, like seeing the art style obviously and seeing like how things were progressing. Like and it is probably the effect it wants to grab. Like if I'm listening to you guys correctly, like it's when you get to the gruesome bits, right, it just hits harder. But like, at least to me, I was always very, very uncomfortable in my watch through. I just never felt safe. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I wonder
but
if
like
that
everything
was
just never felt
that
good.
like I wonder if there's a technique that they used or something to intentionally try to get you to feel like that, but just maybe Chuck and I didn't pick up on.
Maybe
Maybe we did.
I kind of get that though from where you're coming from there, but it's obviously just something that I feel like can also go into the favor of this show, especially that uncomfortability, because this is quite literally going into basically the pits of hell, going through all the torture, going down from layer to layer, and the physical tolls that it has on the characters, and like it is something that I feel that is commendable for this show, especially because it does use this, like, very creepy premise, but delivers on it in such a strong way.
I bet whenever they were, I'm sorry, this is a little bit back, but I bet whenever they were taking the manga art style and turning it into an anime, I bet they knew what they had. They were like, okay, this is a good art style. We're not fucking with it because it's already good. Just leave it as it is.
I think it just hit me. I don't know, and since we're on presentation, I guess it makes sense. But even in the earlier episodes and even more obvious in the later episodes, like the choice of color that they use. You know, they have their light colors like green, yellow, and like
There's lots of green.
bright colors up in the first levels of the Abyss and in the early episodes of the anime, but they were always maybe just a little bit less, like they weren't as bright as the art style lends you to believe. I don't know if I'm explaining myself very well, but it all felt kind of like a little bit dimmed. I'm not sure, but like as you go down, like you'll see less of that foresty kind of green, and you get more of like an olive or like a dark greenish kind of appearance later on. And I think maybe just starting out with something that maybe my eye wasn't used to artistically could have been, maybe it was probably one of the reasons I had this like uncertainty and unsettling feeling during my watch through.
Maybe.
Yeah. So I once again backtracking because I just remembered this. The scene that made me fall in love with it, with like the Made in Abyss theme playing and all just the simple shots of them bringing Reg up from the Abyss, never existed in the manga. It literally went from
Just like cut.
them finding Reg to like the scene where Reg is like kind of opening his eyes and slowly regaining consciousness and then getting zapped. So that's one of the I don't know, some of the cool things that they adapted like beyond the manga, and I think improved on some of the aspects that the medium of anime can really make into this.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it makes sense. Like I'll always agree with any company if they put an extra scene in there that just makes sense in the context of the larger story. Like if I find something, I'm not just gonna not toy around with it.
Chuck,
right? I'm just...
story-wise, is this pretty faithful to the manga?
Oh
Okay.
yeah, there are like several like just looking through it right now, remembering everything that the anime had. Like, there's a bunch of scenes that are like very much like shot for shot, panel to shot. Like how Rico, whenever she like bows or like apologizes to someone, her pigtails flip and hit the person in front of her.
Oh, that's
that
adorable. I remember
happens
that.
like every time in the manga, and it's like the same pose and everything. So there's some mangas that are like very loosely adapted, and then there's shit like JoJo that is like pretty fucking close, ripped right out. This is on that side of very faithful to the source material, and I think that's it works in its favor.
The pigtail bows always made me giggle. Just like, you can't just do that. And I'm like, wait, that's physics.
It's the little things.
Yeah, it's the little things that make me laugh.
Especially because like this show like gets so fucking dark. It needs like those little tiny things that are like, haha, yeah.
Especially the one where she bowed and she hit her head on the table.
Yeah.
I was like, oof, that one hurt.
When she was meeting like Ozen, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a good one.
That's a goodie.
So what's next?
Let's just go talk about the music, because the music is. I think Gabe, you can talk about it a bit first.
I didn't really. I try to like look a little bit deeper, or like try to find some sheet music or something and analyze it, but really everything's just really harmonic and it just feels really good to listen to. Everything just sucked me in immediately with that first song that plays, and then like hearing the opening. I think it played the opening at the last bit of the first episode, but I didn't really understand that it was the opening. But episode 2, whenever that opening hit, I was like, oh, it's so good. It's just so pretty, and it just a certain note progression that's like kind of heroic in it, but it also gives off like that vibe of mystery, It's very good. Makes me happy.
A little special thing that you probably don't hear that often with anime. This Made in Abyss, like all this stuff that was not the opening and ending, that was all composed by a man named Kevin Penkin, and he's actually Australian. Hey guys, it's post-production Chuck. I'm here just to say that actually, it was not Kevin Penkin that sang the lyrics to the insert song. It is actually Takeshi Saito, so that's just to clear up any confusion. Back to the program.
Oh,
Interesting.
So if you can hear him singing, like if you hear like the Maiden Abyss theme, that's him, I think, from what I
like
remember.
the guy like doing like the harmonious kind of
Yeah.
like that. Oh,
Yeah,
fantastic.
I think so.
Okay,
I might-
if you're wrong,
I'm
I'm gonna murder you. I mean, I'm gonna throw you in the abyss.
There's just a
I'm-
lot of really clean vocals that sound really good.
he composed it. Maiden Abyss, blah blah. Yeah, no, I don't. It doesn't. It seems that's he did sing, but because it's obviously an English-speaking singer through just how everything is enunciated and sounded through in the music that you do hear vocals in.
Yeah.
Just the music's so good. The sound
It's a good
design's
one just to, like,
fucking phenomenal.
Listen in the background while you're doing other stuff.
It's very pretty for like all the music that you can just listen to.
Did you have anything to input, Pino?
Are we specifically just talking about the opening?
No, just the music in general.
we're talking about the
Oh,
music
just the music.
in general. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Are we gonna specifically talk about the opening?
If you want to.
Okay,
We will
no,
in
I
a
mean, I
second.
can wait.
We will in a second. I
I can wait till the opening then.
it's just
I just really enjoyed the music. It was oof, the cream of the crop.
and really, it makes sense that they won the best soundtrack of the year because it is, you can very much tell that there's a lot of love put into it
Yeah.
and a lot of passion.
For it being a manga I've never heard of, like the animation was very fluid. I mean, there were a couple times where they had like a little bit of a like this, the faraway Nozomi that always cracked me up in Love Live. There's a couple little moments like that, but I mean, it still looked really good. You know, above average, I would say.
Yeah.
And, you know, they put a lot of work into this for something I'd never fucking heard of. You know.
It obviously paid in
Yeah.
dividends because it already has a second season, which was announced.
Good.
I think only like
It
a
was
month or
announced in
so
March, I
after
think.
it finished.
Usually
Yes.
we hear
Yeah.
nothing about a second season, and then by the time we've given up, they're like, "Oh yeah, I guess we'll make another." And we're like, "Yay!"
Did someone say JoJo Part 5?
Did someone say fucking Konosuba?
Sadness? Oh my god.
Did someone say One Punch Man #2?
That's coming
Yeah.
out. That's coming out.
Eventually,
2018.
didn't?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, they moved.
At least like with My Hero Academia, like with the end of season 2, they were like gave a release date there. They're like, this
My
is when
Hero's
season 3 will be.
Stinkademia.
Yeah. I mean, that's also like super popular and profitable right now. So
My new shonen for the modern age.
It is. It's for all those kids. This is the Naruto of this generation. Naruto and One Piece. And Dragon Ball.
Oof, I thought you were gonna mention. I thought you weren't gonna mention Dragon Ball. I'm like, you're a sinner.
Come on, who do you think I am? But have we like talked every let's quickly go into animation really quick. I just really like the animation. Everything's very fluid. It's not obviously not Studio Trigger like
Studio
overemphasized. Yeah, it is very much still, like we said, with like the backgrounds, very based in reality. There are a couple of stuff that you're like, that's a bit weird, and I don't know how that would work. But
and like the monster designs get pretty weird,
Oh,
and the
monster
inverted
designs are
forest
really-
that makes no goddamn sense.
yeah,
What do you mean? It's just an inverted forest.
Yeah, but why
We'll
would
get
the
to that, I
trees still be pointing in that direction? Gravity
It's
would make the
inverted.
leaves go the other way.
guess. Haven't you ever seen those tomato growers that you hang up on your like windowsill and it's like they're growing upside down?
Shit, you're right.
Yeah. It's based in reality, but it's obviously not real.
dang it.
Got him.
I want an upside down tree forest. That'd be fucking terrifying to go through, though, if they have to like jump on the bottom of the trees like they did. Fucking terrifying. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Sturdy trees.
I want
But,
none of that.
Yeah, just animation was very smooth all around. There were no points in it that I'm like, ooh, that didn't look good.
Mm-hmm.
It's very
I can agree to
very
that sentiment.
consistent throughout.
Yes, very much so.
So are we good with animation now? Sorry,
Yeah, man.
Oh, yeah.
it was kind of just thrown in there, but I wanted to talk a little bit about that. So let's just go right into the opening because
All right.
oh boy, this opening is fucking chilling. So it's called Deep in Abyss and it's sung by Rico and Reg, the two main characters from Made in Abyss, and you know what that means? That means that I already fucking love it.
I knew that the ending was done by them, but I didn't know that the opening was too.
It's a little hard to notice in the opening.
Yeah. But it is definitely them, especially because whenever they swap shots with the different characters, because it's mainly just Rico and Reg doing this in this opening and like finding each other. It's you can hear them individually singing for the most part when they are shown on screen.
And like it changes a little tiny bit each episode, I noticed. After a while, I finally caught on whenever I saw what's her name? Cat Girl.
She's more of a rabbit, but
Nanachi.
yeah.
Yeah, Nanachi. I noticed that she was in the ending, and I was like, oh, she definitely wasn't there before, because I would have noticed that. But yeah, it changed like the last scene, which I don't know if it did that for each one, but
I don't think it only changed the last scene. It changed a couple scenes in between.
That's cool,
I believe. Yeah,
like stuff like that.
That's how you get Pino's approval of
an opening.
Anime openings.
Yeah, definitely.
You need to summarize stuff.
Yeah, if you just make even just little bits of changes through openings, like as it develops throughout a season, like that is something that I crave for, and I think that's one of the coolest things that you can do. So, yeah, the opening's just really. The farther you get into it, because it's them singing about like going into the abyss.
I read the lyrics. That was kind of cute. I was like, oh, yeah, it's an adventure.
Yeah, but it's Then you realize by like episode like 7, like holy shit, this is gotta be a rough fucking adventure.
Like, why are you singing about this?
Yeah, and it goes from cute to very chilling. Like
episode 7 kind of was like really was that turning point.
It's that pivot.
I would go maybe so far as to say it started at 6. Yeah, 6 is when everything started going down.
Like, but at the beginning of 7 is the first time that you're like, oh shit, now we're getting like this is the first time I've heard this opening since it got real. Yeah,
that's like this big slap in the face, for lack of a better term. It's like, okay, you're here.
Get ready, boys.
Surprise.
Yeah.
I enjoyed the opening, and as I mentioned before about the whole video game thing, this really just reminded me of like a any RPG with like an anime opening. It just like felt that way to me, which it's good. I like it. Like I don't know, it just hit me all at once. But I very much enjoyed it. It's so cool. Like all the visuals, everything that I didn't understand, every question that it left me with every image I saw. I was like, who's this? Why is this purple thing here? What do you mean that's... Where is the... What?
Yeah.
And just it just leaves you with questions, and it like kind of makes you want to watch some more, which is a plus from this.
There's not a lot of the shows where like I'm watching for the podcast. Even like Kai, I kind of procrastinated with. This one, I was like, okay, I guess I'll start watching. And then like I knocked out like half of it in one day. I was like, oh my god, I gotta keep watching.
I knocked this entire thing within 2 days.
Yeah, Yeah, that was me when I first watched it. It was...
It's a goodie.
It gets you in.
But we'll talk about that later.
So, the opening just really is able to set the mood for the show.
If you're trying to like suck your friends in to watch this show, just like send them the opening.
Yeah.
Because I assume that anyone who's listening to this point has already seen it.
If not, what are you doing?
Yeah, if not,
what are you
please
doing? I'm looking at you.
I'm looking at you,
guy from last week.
Yeah, I know you're listening.
Yeah, well, you probably
fucking watch the show. Why are you still here?
Why are you?
Movie's over.
Get out of here. Clean up after yourself too. Come on.
Timely Ferris Bueller reference.
Yeah, deep cuts. But yeah, it's just I don't know. The opening's really good. I like it a lot.
Yeah.
But that ending though.
It's so cute.
It's adorable.
It's a really cute one, and it adds little bits on people who you meet.
Oh, really?
Like Ozen, you don't at least. Actually, I might be wrong. Because you know how the little characters pop up, going part by part. Like as like you see Ozen and what's her name, Maruk is how you say her name.
Maruk.
Yeah.
Maruk.
Daruk's protection is now ready to roll.
Yeah, but
how about we just call her Blue Boy?
That's the true Made in Abyss.
That is
She is the maid
only.
in the
We found
abyss.
it. We did it. We found our One
We've
Piece.
gone full circle.
Guys,
We did it.
I can't believe we've
We
gone
did it,
full
Reddit.
circle. Guys, Reddit. Guys, post this on Reddit.
We did it, Reddit. Just post that on Tumblr.
Actually, if you value your karma on Reddit, I wouldn't recommend posting this on.
Post this on 50/50. You put it's 3 guys getting mad.
Mm-hmm.
No. And then okay, that joke went nowhere fast.
It's okay.
No,
I
no, but
forgive you.
what's the other 50, Pino? I want to hear this.
3 guys getting mad or 3 guys being sad.
Yeah, no. I just watched the opening or the ending for the second episode. No Ozen and no
Damn.
no Maruk. So that once again is really good for me because I love that little things. Even though Nanachi was or Nanachi, however you want to pronounce it, is in it the entire time, but still a very interesting way that they can make an ending because it could have been really creepy or it could have been just normal a stupid ending, but it was
And it
so
also
much more.
kind of sticks with that whole juxtaposition that we were talking about earlier of like there's a really cute song at the end, you know, but everything's really fucked up.
Yeah.
It's supposed to comfort you once you start crying.
I think so. I think you're right. It's
Yes.
It's like
and I said
Absolutely.
you on purpose.
the
Yeah.
second half of Kill la Kill has like a really soothing song at the end whenever shit like really starts getting crazy in that show. Kind of reminds me of that.
And it reminds me of DBZ Kai. Feel your
Like a But you know, once again, it's a song by Rico and Reg for the first from episodes 2 to 9, and then actually Nanachi joins in for the last 3 episodes from 10 to 12.
I'm so excited for the next season when Nanachi joins them.
Yeah,
I'm so ready.
It's really good. I'm really excited, and it has the very simplistic chibi art style of them kind of just making their way down the abyss until like one of the final shots where they're just falling.
Walking my way down the
Like
abyss,
I'm a bitch. She's
running
gonna-
around, trying not to die now.
Yeah,
Oh, my arm broke.
I gotta cut it off. No, don't do
And
that.
now this robot is crying. I'm just kidding. Oh god.
Yeah, it's
Oh, good times.
the ending's really good. I like it a lot, and it has those little nuances and really captures a cool vibe of the show, like the cute aspect and like the once again the adventure aspect and the like progression.
I
You
do
know,
love me a good adventure.
hell yeah, dude.
Yeah.
And then actually after, is it before or after? At one of the points, they actually show where the progress of the group is in the abyss on one of
Really?
the maps. Yeah,
Oh, that's cool.
that they have. It has like a little jingle, and it shows you where they are on the abyss at that point because
Nice.
on like the
It's got that Nintendo polish.
it goes that Nintendo polish because.
Sega. Oh.
But like the when Nat and Shiggy, I guess is how you
Shiggy.
Speaking of Nintendo.
no, but they just
Shoutouts to Shigimoto.
Yes.
Or what's his name?
Shigimoto, dude.
Ushimaro. Yeah. Shoutouts to that guy. Shoutouts to Mario.
Yeah, but it shows where they are on the map that those kids have just looking at it, and I think that's a really cool touch that they didn't need to add at all, but it's something that really helps build the atmosphere and the vibes of the show. Yeah,
I like
We got
this
it.
show.
it's a really
Well, next week we're what? No, I'm just kidding.
so we want to hop in right to the plot because I have a plot.
Yes.
Guess what? Rico finds
Guess
a little
what?
robot boy.
Dude, Robot Boy.
And then-
I remember that on Cartoon Network.
Yeah, and then she
Super
goes,
fighting robot Regaman.
man. And then they meet him. Then they see the letter from Rico's mom, and then they sneak out, and then they go down to the abyss, and they get chased a little bit. They meet their big fat best friend.
Real quick, I want to say, whenever they like first said that they were like leaving into the abyss, and she was talking about how like she'll never return, I had no idea the like real implications of what was going on.
Oh no. Oh, Garb, you poor soul.
Yeah.
I was fully aware.
Oh,
Yeah.
I was
no.
like, if no one's coming back, they're not coming back anytime
If
soon.
I rewatch this again, like I'm gonna
You're
know
gonna
what's
be
going on, and I'm
bummed.
gonna.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna upset me immensely.
This upset
no
Kirby
adventure has
immensely.
anyone returning. Come on, man.
Yeah. So they sneak out, they go into the abyss, and then they just go down, meet a lot of cool, wacky characters, and then they meet a lot of danger, and now they're going down even more next season.
Yeah.
So they went down. They went through the first layer, the second layer, the third
and they're-
layer, up till the fourth.
And they're
right?
finishing.
They're on the fourth.
They're finishing out the fourth.
And isn't the second layer like if a red whistle goes down to the second layer, they just won't go fetch them? They like assume
Yeah.
that they're dead.
Yep.
Yeah. So
For those of you who are watching this and haven't watched it, there are tiers. There's certain tiers that that people can go when they go in the abyss. So white whistles means that they basically
do
have free reign
everything.
in the abyss. Yeah, they can go in any layer, and they're the most hardcore. I think there's only like 4 or 5 of them.
There's not a lot. Like I think 7 or
There's
something.
not. Yeah. Then I believe is the black
whistles,
whistle,
yes.
right? Black
Yeah.
whistles, which I believe can only go to layer 5.
That sounds about right.
Okay, and then you have blue.
Yep.
Right, and then that's like 4 or something.
4 or
You
3.
have red.
And then
You have red, I believe.
red is the novice, like the small children, only first layer, and that's it.
Yeah, and I appreciate that kind of like scaling in that matter. Like if I were to equate it to any like shonen, it's just kind of like power scaling sort of in a way.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, you're not good enough to go down there. However, these kids somehow managed to go all the way there.
Yeah.
So
It's
yeah. So
it's a really nice detail that you kind of look over, but it is very appreciated, especially when trying to just figure out what this entire plot is about and this entire world. It's really the world building in the show is next to none.
it's great. Yeah.
It has the very real rules that it sets out like immediately. Like they talk about the curse of the abyss, and that's basically after you go down, going up is hell.
Yeah.
Like first layer, like you get like kind of dizzy. Second layer, like
You may puke.
severe nausea
yeah.
and just like kind of a little bit of sickness. Third layer is
Hallucinations, right? I believe.
Yeah.
was that? Yeah.
One of them was hallucinations.
Yeah, that was hallucinations.
Audio and visual.
Audio and visual, and then sickness again, everything, and then fourth floor
Fourth layer.
is one of the oof. It's bleeding.
Ooh, do you like bleeding?
Yeah, do you like bleeding from every orifice of your body? Because you're gonna see that.
I had to look away when that happened.
Oh, it is. It's so that scene is so difficult to watch, but it also is. And
I was angry at that scene, but I'll tell you later.
Yeah, but it's just the world building and how this entire abyss culture is presented to us as like no nonsense. We're not going to bullshit you. This is what's going to happen, and this is why no one likes it. Like this is why it is terrible.
And why like there's people that like have to be ranked and respected enough to be like, okay, they can go down there. They've trained, they've prepared, they know what happens down there. Whereas like you can't just have a bunch of fucking red whistles going down there because they're gonna fucking
have
die.
a little romp. You can't have a little romp
have a
down
little romp to
the
the
Giant's
Down
Goblet.
Abyss Lane.
Oh, good
Yeah,
lord.
and each layer is its own like atmosphere, and that's when like it.
Yeah.
You would think like going down this giant fucking hole, you'd be like, oh, gross. That's just boring.
More rocks.
More rocks, but it has each unique environment with different like predators and animals and beasts, and then their own like relics and stuff like that. It just helps immensely with differentiating the different threats and stuff like that.
This ain't no Minecraft, Mac. You in the abyss now. Oh man,
That was a lot of references pumped into one just
a
then.
lot. I'm glad you noticed that.
Yeah,
Thank you.
It was. Oof.
Thank you. Not sure. Did you go over the plot completely? I remember I kind of interrupted you
It was
when you were talking about the layers. Like, what's the central? Why is Rico going down?
Yeah,
we gotta.
I skimmed over this a little bit. Rico gets a letter from her mother saying that she's waiting at the bottom of like the netherworld, which is technically the bottom of the abyss.
Yeah.
And Rico is an orphan, but her mom is this very
Highly
fancy, highly respected white whistle. Her name's Liza, and
Liza.
there's
Sorry.
there's
Dude,
a
when
lot
you
of cool
finally
things.
see her face, I was like,
There's a lot of stuff that I want to talk about with her later, but
okay.
Yeah.
just to cut it short, she is a crazy explorer, and she's so well respected to everyone, and
She's good at her job.
she's really good at her job, and it's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
And
I love
so we get our little party of Reg and Rico just going down and making their way to go to the
making
bottom.
their way to die.
Yes.
Gonna sing that joke once again to make you mad.
Yeah, it's just crazy how good this is.
Yeah.
I don't give it enough credit for what it is, especially with the plot. I can't, like, there's so many different characteristics and little things that you notice in the plot, like when what's his name gets sick, the little kid gets sick, what's his name? Kiwi?
Kiwi?
Yeah, Kiwi.
Kiwi.
When Kiwi gets sick, but then they bring him out into the caravan, into the water, perfectly fine. And shit like that, like the mysteries of the abyss, is something that is
It reminds me.
creepy, but it's something that you're like, this makes total sense with how this world has been portrayed to us at this point. There's all these creepy things
It reminds
and terrible
me.
things
It kind
that
of
are
reminds me of,
attached to this world.
I don't know. It reminds me of like you guys ever play Terraria?
Just a little bit.
So when you go to like a certain area, I think it's like an infected kind of area, right? It starts affecting like everything around it, sort of.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it kind of reminds me of that with the situation with Kiwi. It's like the literal abyss is like doing this to people. Like I don't want to personify the abyss, but like it kind of has to be personified in this kind of way. The fact that like the reason you're this close to like dying here but not over there is because like this abyss has got there's something wrong in here.
Yeah.
We gotta fix it.
It's
We gotta
crazy,
bob the building.
Yeah.
Phenomenal. I will say, however, this is where here's where Pino becomes not the Pino you once knew. So we went over the plot a little bit, right?
Yes.
And like I kind of want to talk about maybe Rico's goal in this, right?
Yeah.
Because in a sense, we glossed over this. She was raised in an orphanage, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she's always been fascinated by the abyss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. She's always had the desire to go into the abyss, right? I'm not sure. I don't remember like how big her desire was at the beginning before getting the letter. Did she want to reach the middle, or did she just want to be a white whistle?
She wanted to be a white whistle like her mom. Like
Okay.
because they talk about it a little bit, like and especially with some narration that Liza actually does, like the character, the mom, that like she does some narration for it. She talks about the draw of the abyss, and you can see that especially with Rico as a character, because all she wants to do is go deeper into the abyss, no matter how taxing it is. And that's something that is a really interesting way to kind of show how this society works as a whole. So sorry if I'm trailing on, Pino. You can go back to your...
It's okay. This actually helped. But along with that desire to go to the abyss and to be somebody great,
She got
right?
too big
to
for
be a
her
white
britches.
whistle. Yeah. But she has people who kind of tell her like, nah, son, that's
where the big boys go. You're not a big boy.
Only big boys. You're not a big boy. It's too dangerous. There's nothing down in the middle, right there, right? It creates this sense of like wonder and like mystery, right? And then I couldn't help but like anytime something of that matter like happened, I just instantly thought, this plot is the reason why I love One Piece so much. which is just this. It's essentially the same thing. You have someone whose desire is to see the unseeable, the drive to find something that people say is impossible to find.
And they have like very little experience actually doing so.
Very little experience, everybody against them, and they set off on such a great adventure and they never come back.
Yeah.
I made an abyss. Please don't take 900 episodes, please.
Oh
No, it will not. I can guarantee you that right now. But it's, I definitely agree with what you're saying on that.
Adventure.
The character of Rico as a whole, is not my favorite. I will admit that right now. She's
Okay.
a bit.
That's where I was gonna lead. I was
Yeah.
gonna actually go into that, but you can continue.
Yeah, like I get where you're coming from. Like Rico is a very headstrong child. Like she's like, I can do this. I want to go to the abyss. I want to do all these things.
And then Reg's like, oh, well, gotta protect her.
Yeah.
And then I guess I feel like then if we're feeling the same way, we feel like the one character, I believe his name was Nat, right? Mm-hmm. The one that wanted her to stay.
Yeah.
Like to just not do it. I'm like we're basically in his shoes. We're like,
Yeah.
no.
Yeah.
That is too dumb.
You are not you are a 12-year-old child. You have no experience. You are prone to all these human weaknesses that in other series, maybe in a similar regard, have like overcome. Like,
Yeah.
she needs to build up stamina, and I would understand. Like, I understand she's a child and she's like wants to do this, but I guess it's sort of saved later in the story. Here's where I'm gonna spoil some stuff. Like, things from the abyss tend to go back to the abyss, right?
The draw
And
of
like
the abyss.
the draw of the abyss, like that kind of like my anger finally became like, okay, I get why she's going in the abyss, but I'm like, couldn't she just waited a little bit longer?
Well,
Yeah.
it's very much a just something that she was being pushed towards. Like I am definitely like in that shoes. I'm like, even in episode 2, I'm like, holy shit.
I'm like,
this
are you
is-
doing this?
Yeah, like this is real shit right now. Like this world is not gonna fucking go light on you.
I
Especially
expected a time skip.
that would have made me angry.
Yeah.
Right, really?
I wouldn't have liked that.
Really?
I'm I'm very much I want to see the development. I don't.
I want to see you suffer,
Yeah,
girl.
well, yeah, because it's if you like, there's a manga that I'm reading right now about golf, and they have. I know it sounds weird, but it's Robot X Laser Beam, and
Okay.
in this manga, like, he plays in high school. He was a freshman in high school, and he plays for this golf team, and then they do a 4-year time skip. Till like after he graduates, it's either
that's a little too rough.
yeah, right. It's
there.
like
that
it's
time
either
skip's a little rough.
it's either after he graduates or right in senior year, and either way, like, it makes me feel so disconnected to the character, even if it was super early in the series.
I was expecting one like while they were in the abyss, because I was like, they just don't have
Same
the
here.
experience.
Right? Like, I expected them maybe to be stuck on a couple, like maybe 1 or 2 layers for a while.
Yeah.
And I guess in regards to now talking about like time skipping and stuff like that,
Because they were just zooming through.
like, yeah, they are zooming through, and like, again, I know that it's hip to like short anime and whatnot, but I feel like maybe with a little bit more fluff, I don't want to call it fluff, like just a little bit more, like 13 episodes, 1 season. I mean, I get like
They got a lot of shit done, I gotta say.
They got a little,
and it was interesting
I would
the whole
like,
time.
I would like to see more of a struggle, because like layers 1 to like they get to Ozen. Like, I was like, okay, this. I mean, he's a super fighting robot. I'm like, what else are you gonna do to me? And then obviously, I'm glad that at the end of the season, I was like, when I got to episode 5, I was like, are they gonna reach the middle, or like, is this real?
Yeah.
And then when we get to 13, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's-
Thank you for putting a stop.
especially in the last couple episodes, they're
They slowed to a crawl.
they
sort of.
slow to
Yeah.
a crawl, but that, I feel like that makes a lot of sense. Like, we've talked about power scaling a little bit. This is a bit like that, because like the third layer and the 4th layer are two completely different leagues.
Yeah.
And it shows that immensely between the two. And I think that is one of the things that I really enjoyed about, especially the last couple episodes. There was real legitimate danger.
Yeah.
Like, with, like, just the entire fourth layer is the best part of this anime for me, at least.
Real quick, you mentioned like your dislike for a lot of Rico's personality. It was really nice whenever it was just Reg for a while. I was like, yeah.
Hey,
all
Reg.
right. Yeah.
It's like, I get why Rico's like that way, because she's literally
It's in her
a
blood.
child.
It's genetically, she's,
Well, she's dead, so
yeah.
well, I'm looking at.
Well, that makes me angry too, but we can talk about that.
She
I'm
died
looking-
in the
I don't wanna-
abyss, so she's sucked into the abyss because that's just the nature of the abyss.
But look, if
Whatever the fuck.
she was, never mind. We'll get to that. It's too philosophical.
Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
I feel like there's a lot of symbolism that I didn't catch on to here.
I think a little bit, but also I'd probably flew over my head.
Yeah.
Nothing flies over my head. I'm too swift. I'd catch it.
I'm just looking into little things, just making sure we actually.
What section are we on? I just got
We're
really.
just plot and general stuff.
Okay.
We're in like the plot
Okay.
and then the opinions of the show. Like this is all.
Can I
Go for
Can I be mad about
Go
something?
for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
So, as much as I enjoy the trope of, oh, I have amnesia, I can't remember anything, I'm really angry that a robot can't remember what he's doing.
I mean, have you
He's
not
like,
messed
what
up
am I doing
have you
here?
never fucked up a thumb drive before?
That's true.
No,
have
I
you
mean,
have you
I-
pulled it out before you safely ejected it?
I have, but like, God, I feel like it would work much better if like he was something made like if he would if. So take Gurren Lagann for instance. Like I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spoil too much, but like
And Chuck hasn't seen
they-
it. So.
Dude,
Chuck hasn't seen it.
Gurren
I'll just
Lag-
spoil episode 1 then, because it doesn't really have any. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, whatever. They find a certain object in the ground, right? It's been there for a while. I kind of hoped that Reg would have been like something they found, like not found in the abyss or something that came from the bottom of the abyss. I wanted him to be something maybe created on the surface level to go into the abyss.
That's what
for
I
some
thought
reason.
he was. I thought that he was a robot built to go down into the abyss because
Yeah.
clearly he's not affected by it, and he's very built to look very human. We'll say.
Exactly. And the I mean, I haven't read the manga. Like, if people, you probably get mad at me, and the series isn't over yet, right? The manga's still going.
Send us an
Yeah, it's so
email
good.
if you're mad.
Okay, so like I'm guessing again, Reg has probably something to do with the with Liza,
Yes,
and it has something to do with the abyss, and like I get that for now, but like during my walkthrough, my watch through, I was very it bothered me. I'm like, you're a robot, and you forgot that you had a cannon laser. I'm like,
Yeah, I definitely get that sentiment for sure. It's as everyone knows here, you should know by now. I'm not very picky about stuff. I'm usually not that critical. And
Dude, maybe they upgraded his firmware and it accidentally wiped something.
it has.
you mean like Windows 10?
But it's I don't view him more as a robot. I view him more as a relic, like the relic kind of thing. So it's very much a different fucking can of beans that we're opening here. And
Now this is where I gotta say something.
Go in.
Alright.
This whole relic thing reminds me of a couple of things from other media. The Reg himself reminds me of Blades from Xenoblade Chronicles 2, which, again, they're humanoid kind of like weapon things, right? And no, this is why I relate.
Is that the red
Any-
girl, red hair
red-haired girl, Pyra Mithra?
Yeah, and she's
the-
like
the-
bonded with the sword, or she's like a human embodiment of the sword, or some shit.
she is, yeah, she's basically the sword.
Okay.
But no, she's the.
She
think
like
of,
Fee?
think of it as the sword having a stand.
Oh, okay.
Vice versa. Yeah.
That makes sense.
She is like the blade has the stand. Pyra is the humanoid thing is the stand.
Okay.
The blade is just
I
the
follow.
blade.
I follow. Thank
Okay.
you.
The thing is, in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, these blades can come from little diamonds or little crystals they call core crystals. And when their user dies, their memories are wiped, right?
Oh.
This is why I relate Reg to
to a blade in Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because if that is the case, something must have happened. Maybe he's like, and something to a similar degree happened to him to make him forget his memories. And that's the only thing that kept me sane during my watch through. I'm like, there's a reason why. But like, for now, you're just a blade to me. You're a blade.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, again, just, you're going to hear a lot of me referring back to Xenoblade Chronicles 2, because it really just reminded me of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Interesting.
a lot.
I thought
Yeah.
a lot. I saw some similarities to like Gurren Lagann, you know, which Chuck hasn't seen, but Pino and I adore.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Reg is basically the
crying.
drill.
Yeah. He's the drill to pierce my heaven. Heaven's door. Okay, that's the JoJo reference. Hooray.
Yay!
We've met the quota.
Good job,
did it.
guys. This is
Okay.
this is the 14th episode consecutively with a JoJo reference. Congrats, guys.
Yes, we did it.
Guys-
Even though we referenced it like 2 times before this. in
Yeah,
this
no.
episode.
Don't worry. This is the longest running podcast that has openly referenced JoJo every time. Yay! Good work.
But yeah, Reg's
That's why no one
cool, I guess.
listens.
Yeah. Do we want to start talking about characters? Because I think we've done a lot in
Yeah.
Sure. The plot.
the plot. Yeah. So
Yeah, let's get down
let's-
dirty.
Yeah. So let's go talk about a couple. Since we were already on him, let's talk about Reg.
Okay.
Because
Reg.
I know we talked about a lot of him already, but he's a relic.
He's got a penis.
He does have a penis. He has
And a butthole.
balls, but you can't stick it very far up the ruler broken side.
Wait, he's made of rubber.
Yeah,
How
he's
did that happen?
dude. He ate the gobo gobo fruit.
He's literally Luffy.
Yeah. He can
He's
extend his
robot
arms.
Luffy.
Like, come on, it's perfect.
That's the only.
And he
rea-
makes a
that's the
very
only
satisfying
Oh,
sound.
the chink sound. Oh,
Yeah.
dude, that makes me so happy every time I hear it.
The show had
It's so
really good
good.
audio design in general.
Yeah, I talked about that a little bit, and I'm just like, oh, boys. Oh, boys.
Yeah. Reg is the. He's
Super
I feel
fighting
bad
robot.
For Reg. He's a super fighting robot who hesitates. I feel so bad for him. I'm just like, do it. He's like, but what if I shouldn't? I'm like, do it. Maybe later.
Don't use your feelings.
They make you weak. Well, use your feelings, but like, make sure you just make the right choice. Oh God, just you guys start. I don't want to.
Yeah,
I don't
no,
want to get angry too fast.
We talked a little bit about it before, but Reg actually, within the later episodes, starts getting flashbacks to Liza, Rico's mom, and like prior to what he kind of
Experience.
Yeah, so especially with the flowers of fortune or eternal, what are they called? Eternal something, and those
Eternal
Sunshine
yeah.
of the Spotless Mind.
no.
The white flowers that
Yeah.
make me cry.
Yeah, that there's just a lot of. I think Reg is like one of the most well-developed characters in the show.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's kind of like the self-insert for the people watching to a point, because
Yeah.
he's very much like Rico is the knowledge, he is the strength, and like kind of has the know-how to do things.
Yeah. Well, because Riku.
Hatsune Riku.
Now I have the image of like Kingdom Hearts X made in Abyss. Okay, that's stupid.
We both thought of different Rikus.
Yeah,
I'll
I-
post a picture of my Riku.
Oh no.
I just thought of Hatsune Riku.
Oh no, hold up. Where is you guys continue while I type this in?
But because she was teaching him things throughout the whole thing. She's like, "Oh, these animals do this, and like you can eat their meat because of this," you know. And then Reg's always like, "Wow,
Wow.
wow."
Wow, Lois.
Hey Lois, I have an arm cannon.
Hey Lois, I'm a cave dweller, Lois.
Hey Lois,
I'm a delver.
You got abducted by birds. Oh God, you got abducted by birds. Oh man.
Yeah, but
Hold up, my picture's coming up, but you guys continue.
I just like Reg. He's a good character.
Yeah,
he's a good
he's
boy.
rad.
He's a stretchy boy.
He's a stretchy boy. Who would win? 5,000 birds or one stretchy boy?
One
This is my
stretchy-
Riku, everyone.
What the fuck?
What is
I
that?
do-
One Piece?
That's One Piece, right?
That's One Piece.
Okay.
It's There's too many similar names, okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Japanese,
But,
you got to get more creative. Come on.
yeah. Well, guys, let's hit Rico.
Come on, step it up.
Let's hit Rico real quick.
Don't hit her.
I'm not.
Don't
I did not
hit her.
I did
Do
not hit her. I did not.
I did not break her arm. I did not.
I did not stab
Okay,
her
maybe I
arm.
did.
I did not. So
I did not tell her to stand 12 feet behind
Yeah.
me, but she did not.
no, but Rico, main character,
So angry.
she's just kind of dumb, and her character, personality-wise, is a bit rough to follow. And
Yeah.
Again, the main character. There's technically two main characters, right? Like it's both Ragu and Rico, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, right, but I don't know. Like I feel like there was a push for Rico being the main character, but I feel like she's always just overshadowed by Regu, in my opinion. Like I'm just like,
Because Reg is way
she's there.
cooler. and
Yeah,
has
right.
more,
She's
Reg is more interesting
things.
as a character.
yeah, he's and just Rico is just
I wonder if the manga
she's just a
artist-
liability waiting to happen.
Why didn't they
yeah.
just
A
send
lawsuit
Reg
right
down?
there.
Because they're
Just
dumb.
with a camera. Oh wait, there's no cameras in this
Yeah.
one.
The one thing that we didn't talk about that I really want to talk about is how Rico. No, Pino, you fucked me up.
Now we gotta Photoshop Rico.
Yep, I was about to say, there's our thumbnail.
There it is, King Riku.
So with I think it was episode 10, and that was when Rico was stabbed with the poison of the needler, or like the orb needle guy.
Let's talk about that for a second. Which one of you guys cried?
Oh my god, yes. That was
Who cried?
like this. I want to talk about this right now. This show is one of the best shows that I've ever seen of portraying raw emotion. Like, it was a robot boy, but you could feel the pain. Like this, it felt so genuine, and like there's panic, and there was fear, and there was every little thing that you would experience if something along those lines would happen to you.
I had to
And
like
if it
turn
were
my head
Pino,
a
it
couple
was-
times in the King's Goblet area.
I was just angry in that part. I was just angry. No tears, no sadness. I was just angry. I was disappointed.
Oh no!
No,
I was
Pino,
disappointed.
Uncle Pino.
Just,
Yeah, no. Like you can't just always be happy-go-lucky. Like I'm like God, that part made me so angry. I don't want to talk about it or else our viewers would go away.
No, this was like one of the best shows that I've seen that shows like danger, like the real, legitimate danger and the results of that danger, like the poison, the bleeding, like the breaking
Like the
of the arm was
The fact that that
so-
arm won't be the
Oh
same.
my
Yeah,
god,
that's
that arm
permanent. It's
was,
not like Dragon
bent
Ball,
out of
where, like-
shape and like kind of dangling, like oh my god, that was
This ain't sure.
And then like her
not
at the very end, like where she just got her thumb to move and she was excited. That was pretty real.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, oh, that's good. Now you learned your lesson. I'm sorry. I'm being.
that's really
angry.
salty.
No, I don't know, man.
Pino's
Just
the
like,
salt lord.
no, I'm gonna blame everyone who hyped this a little too much. Like usually when people hype things, I ignore it. But with the constant like everyone telling me, oh, it's good. You're gonna cry. You're gonna cry. Watching through this, I'm just like, there was like only once that I like cried, but like everything else was just anger and disappointment. Like I don't know, like, and I really like this show, like I really do. It's just like, I don't know. It's probably because I'm old and I just,
You're
it's weird.
jaded.
I'm just like I've seen this just differently.
Yeah. So we talked about Rico. We talked about
Rico,
Reg.
please.
Keep calling her Riku.
Riku,
fucking-
get stronger, please.
Fucking hell, honestly. And then we got a great character, Nanachi.
Ah,
We've gone from a very weak, dumb character
to the best character.
into one of the most interesting characters in the show.
She is my favorite character.
I
Oh,
don't
God.
blame you. She's a great, like, she's kind of smug, but she obviously cares a lot, and she's a fucking rabbit girl, and Pino's a
She's a
furry,
rabbit.
so.
And she has a
No, I'm
tragic,
not.
tragic backstory.
Oh my.
am not.
Like, man, Nanachi is just
She's
Such
excellent.
a
I'm so
complex
glad she's
character.
joining them. It makes me so happy.
Yeah.
She's like that sassy person, you know, that is kind of sassy, but like she's got a heart, and you're like, I'll let you be sassy, I guess. You know, I got you. You got me. I got you. Just don't.
I love when everything clicked about her. You know that moment where like
Yeah.
they explained everything. It's like that's why she knows so much about medicine. You know.
That's why she's a bunny. I mean, that's why she's that way. She oh god, her backstory just
Oh,
It hurt me.
That was physical pain. That legitimately pained me so much.
This was the first anime on the Funky Anime podcast to make me cry, and it was all because of her and her backstory and her friend.
Oh my god. That just that entire 2 to 3 episode period fucked me up so bad. Like
yes, very much so.
like absolutely destroyed me because like Mitty and Nanachi as like characters, you're like, oh, it's just a fucking rabbit girl and some weird fucking thing.
No,
That's the
stop.
noise Mitty made. Sorry, I had to bring back.
Also on the credits for Mitty, it actually just is question mark, which
What?
yeah, at the ending.
Her voice actress.
Yeah, I translated the Japanese and it was Mitty, and it's just question mark. So
she
like
was never
odd.
read. She was just
it just
there.
adds another layer of like mystery, you know. And I really appreciated that. And the scene where, like, this was from episode 12 to episode 13, where Nanachi asks Reg to kill Mitty. And that was the most real thing I've seen in anime in such a long time.
Kind of funny story, super quick. I didn't know that she said that the first time she said it, and then like the next episode where they did the recap, they talked about it again. I was like, oh, what? I should have been paying attention.
I saw that. I was like, that's the first time I was not angry. I was like, oh,
Yeah.
oh no.
Yeah, and
Like the first time I saw Mitty, I was like, you're going to die in a certain way that I will not be happy with. and it happened. I'm glad it did happen, because if it had it not been for both characters, my like for the anime might have been different, very different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The backstory paired with the, like, as I talked before, like the raw emotion with that scene of setting up the blanket and setting up all the dolls.
The fucking
And, like-
dolls is what got me. And when she like she was like kind of munching on the
Stop.
dolls,
Yeah.
like
Oh
as
my
she was like just as she normally does, completely unaware of what's about to happen. I'm gonna cry now. It
okay,
really hit me. I don't know why. I actually know why. I know exactly why it hit me.
Oh.
So this is gonna get real sad. So in my lap is
no.
my cat Jamie, and she's here for whenever I record all of these. Jamie used to have a brother, and her brother got a mysterious sickness one day, because he was more the kind that would go outside and play, whereas Jamie liked to stay inside for the most part. And
As cats
her
do,
brother
I guess,
Garth,
yeah.
Garth after Wayne's World, because he was named Garfield, but I then
Party
saw
on
Wayne's
Garth.
World. Yeah, I then saw Wayne's World as a child and named him Garth. Instead, he came down with a sickness one day, and he died. And we were going to bury him. And the thing about these two cats, they always like to snack with me, and he liked to eat saltines. And whenever we went to bury him, I might actually cry on the podcast.
It's okay, man. Dude, it's all good.
And I, like, my dad, I said, like, we need to get a thing of saltines. And he was like, I thought you said you weren't hungry. And I was like, it's not for me.
Oh.
And so we got the saltine. My stepmom, she understood exactly what was happening and just went and got the fucking crackers. And we buried him with the crackers. And so that's one of the reasons why, like, Jamie means a lot to me, because, you know,
I see.
I had her brother as well. And she's my little
I feel
kitty.
yeah.
And, you know, the moment when they were setting up the dolls, I think it didn't hit me until now, but that is why. Is because it reminded me of that very specific moment in my life where something similar happened, and it fucked me up.
It was very specific, but I can see why
Yeah.
that probably stayed with you up until
It's that like
having you realize.
sentimentality, you know.
I took it more of a general kind of like symbolic way, like
Where it's like that's what
It's-
she, you know, that's her stuff. So like she should die with the things that make her happy.
like the fact that the bond between these two characters was so strong even after everything they went through. The feeling of letting go of what you're used to. Actually,
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
Familiarity.
it just hit me now. I guess I'll just mention it. So, okay. So back probably, I don't know, maybe 2009, 2010, my grandfather was diagnosed with a type of cancer that I don't remember. And I think also caused to some other thing. He had to lose his leg, right? And so, like, you know, I'd have, you know, I was kind of young at the time, but I was aware of what was happening.
You were like just old enough to really understand.
Yeah, old enough to understand, but still young enough that my parents didn't want me to go through the pain of loss of, and gotta hold back the tears real quick.
Who
A
knew?
long story short, though, just letting go of, you know, having that change is just a little tough, you know.
It hurts, man.
Mm-hmm.
It's just with that entire character dynamic, it had such a realism to it that, like, especially with like you two having that very specific feeling towards it that you've felt in real life, I think is a testament to how real this show is able to be at times, especially with the emotions that you usually don't really get in anime. And that is really the reason why I wanted to watch this show, because there's something that is so unique that is able to bring out some of these really real emotions of people and memories that you don't get that like anywhere else. And it's even though it's like painful and like really hard to think about,
Gotta get it out, man.
yeah
Sometimes you just gotta cry, and it's good for you.
yeah
It's very good.
but it's damn, it's
Who knew
just,
that the fucking stupid, dumb podcast called FAP would get so goddamn
Who would have
heavy
thought episode
on
14?
episode 14?
I am actually crying.
it's oh my god, I'm
man.
really close to crying. It's
Shout outs to all of our loved ones that we missed.
Dude, shout outs to my mom,
yeah
who I love
yeah
very much.
Shout outs to my mom who
Yeah.
walked in a couple minutes ago and then walked out.
Hey mom, you're never gonna hear this probably ever. Love you a lot. You mean a lot
Yeah.
to me. And you're
Love you, Mom.
fantastic.
I'll eat soon. Don't worry. But yeah, this is. Whew, that's a good one.
Yeah.
What section were we on again?
No idea.
We were talking about
Weird
characters.
characters,
Okay,
I
yeah.
think.
Let's not talk about Nanachi anymore.
Yeah.
Oh,
We're done with Nanachi segment.
Let's talk about Ozen.
Ozen's a bitch.
Ozen's great. I loved her.
Ozen's really creepy, and she's great.
Oh man,
She's a
The
spooky
fa-
girl. She's kind of like the edgy one. And like one of my notes that I was hoping we would get to this before the miscellaneous section. I'm glad I can bring this up. Is that thing about Ozen that comes to my mind is that this show balances on a very specific line of being edgy and being like dark but not edgy. You know.
Yeah. So it's not like Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah.
Or the Hedgehog. It's more of like, this is real.
Yeah,
exactly.
Deal with it.
It plays up with the fears and the realness of like human emotion in society that you don't, like what I've been talking about this entire fucking episode, is that you don't get that and having it now and feeling it with these characters going through the same things, same emotions that we feel as humans is something that just is such a deep connection that it really helps elevate this anime as a whole.
Yeah. I kind of blanked for a moment. Sorry.
It's all good.
like,
We're still emotionally recovering
Yeah,
from
we're
a lot
all-
of
yeah, a
things.
little
We're
bit.
all still very distraught.
Yeah, a little bit.
I finished this anime 2 days, like on the same day that we're recording this. So I'm still
angry at you
fucked up,
guys.
man.
Yeah.
I'm not only angry at the beginning of this show. I'm angry at you guys.
That's understandable.
I'm grumpy.
Ozen's really fucking creepy and really interesting character.
Yeah.
I'm glad Ozen was there.
I hope she comes back in some capacity. But I
Probably
don't want it to be
flashback.
like an ass pull where like they're in trouble and then she just comes and saves them. You know, I hope
there
that,
was almost that sense of the ass pull, but then I remembered hallucinations.
Yeah, exactly.
The hallucinations fucked me up so bad.
Yeah,
Especially
that's a little too real there too.
with like Rico, and then she's like, okay, these are all hallucinations, but as soon as she sees her mom,
Oh, right, she gives in. I was
my
like,
God,
God, no.
that fucked me so bad.
I was like, don't do it. You know this. You're a smart girl.
It's because she wanted it so badly to be real that she gave up, willing to allow it. Be like, okay, this is all a hallucination, whatever. But then that, she wanted that so much that she's like, nope, it's not a hallucination anymore.
Oh, wait, yes, it is. My friend Reg's not here. I need to go back for him.
Yeah.
Where are my friends?
Hello. We're making a joke from episode 3.
4,
I think.
episode 4.
There we go. Thank you.
Okay.
Hey, happy 10 episodes to 4. I like characters like Ozen. It's just a wake-up call. They're like they're the grumpy person who puts you through hell but really loves you.
Yeah.
You know, it's good. I like that. Again, I would relate them to certain characters from other sources, but I won't.
Yeah.
Yeah, and she
Piccolo.
the
Garb.
Okay, yeah.
I think the really good thing about her is after the kids had their 10-day excursion, and then she just fucking tells them every chilling detail about the abyss.
Yeah.
She doesn't like lying to children.
Yeah,
That's a good policy, I guess. Yeah.
Really
Especially in this
just not
situation,
lying.
It's like
Yeah.
you can't be like, oh, it's cotton candy and dandelions down there. No,
Dude, that's
those
pretty.
dandelions are gonna eat you, and you'll get diabetes from the cotton candy. Sorry, I had to make some.
It's an
giggles
actual
here.
dandelion. It's a lion, and
It's
his
a
mane
lion.
is a dandelion.
Cotton candy is
Dude,
just.
I just made an RPG enemy.
Dude, I can't believe. Dun, 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 dun,
Dun, dun, dun, dun, dun. Oh, never seen
No,
Metal Gear.
yeah, that was
Pum,
really
pum,
solid.
pum.
We're
Metal
sneak-
Gear.
Metal Gear. We're sneaking around the dandelion.
Metal Regu.
He's sleeping there.
I love spaghetti.
Liquid reg.
Liquid Rico. She was almost covered in liquid though.
The memes.
I always felt bad for her when she peed.
I mean, yeah, because that's a very human thing that she
Yeah.
It
does.
was like, oh, and then, oh, I always felt bad for her there. And then I got angry again. I'm like, oh, I don't like, oh, I'm sad.
I don't know. Ozen's just a really interesting character that is I feel like was a very needed character in this
Yeah.
in this anime.
There was too many people that are just like, yeah, you could do it. And she's like, you're not going to fucking do it. You're going to die, you dumbass.
The
I mean, Jiro
first,
was kind of like that beginning.
Yeah.
thing too, right?
the first interaction is literally your mother died. I
Yeah.
saw her grave.
Like, oh, it's you. You're alive.
Yeah, exactly. Like, holy shit. I don't. It's just wild.
Yeah. Is there any other character we think we need to mention?
I just want to talk a little bit about Liza. More
okay.
so just because she's the driving force behind this entire adventure.
She is my One Piece.
She is. It's more of the sentimental value than anything for Liza that she is that push for Rico not Riku.
That's my correction then. She is my straw hat.
She is, and it's, you don't see her a lot, but you get little glimpses, like with her
those
with
glimpses
Ozen,
are so beautiful.
like with Jinro, who's the leader from the orphanage. Like you get little bits and pieces from them, and it pieces together this person that you're like, I want to know about them. I want.
They give you just enough. They like sprinkle it in.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know about that girl named Liza who stares at me. Yeah, no, Liza. Oh God,
She's Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Anytime like she has like a still, the way they drastically change the art style.
Oh yeah, it's
so
like she
beautiful.
looks like an actual like anime person.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the only one that doesn't have like that moe or lolly kind of like style to
Yeah,
it.
the
I mean, all
moe.
the adults kind of
cool.
look very like.
Well, Ozen has like that kind of.
Ozen has a different, unique one.
Yeah, it has
Yeah.
like a poof face.
And then look at like who's the big silly boy?
Oh, Habo.
Big.
Habbo. Yeah, and
Habbo.
Habbo is
He has
just looks straight out of something else.
Yeah. He reminded me of a Fire Emblem character.
A
Actually.
little bit.
And that
Yeah.
was-
He reminds
like,
me of
I
like
He's an axe user,
yeah.
dude. He's friends with Hector.
dude.
no,
What the
yeah.
hecky?
Oh, not
He
my
reminds me
spaghetti.
of like the other guy from Popeye.
Dude.
what's his name? What's his name? I know his name.
Didn't we like
it's
have the Popeye
Palooka.
wiki open on another episode?
It's Pluto, yeah. It's Pluto, yeah. Sorry, it's Pino's gone now. It's me, Popeye the Sailor Man.
This is now the Funky Popeye podcast.
Funky anime Popeye.
And don't forget to eat at my restaurant. Good.
I'm Bluto. It's me, Bluto. What are you doing?
I was actually just off topic. I was watching a clip of Popeye the other day. I was like, damn, I love this anime. We gotta watch that one day. Just watch an episode. Preferably the same one. Oh, okay. Anyway, sorry. Yeah, he looked like Pluto. I think that's his name.
Bluto. It's
Bluto.
Bluto, not Pluto.
And then olive oil.
Bluto's a stupid name though.
Olive oil. It's me, olive oil. I sound
They
like
used to call my mom olive oil back in Peru because she was very thin as olive oil. She was like very skinny. I was like, that's funny. Let's just not watch the Popeye movie. Okay, and next let's get on topic.
Do we have anyone else that we want to talk about before we slide into the...
DMs, that is.
I managed to sneak Habbo in there, so I feel pretty good about that.
Habbo's great. Even though he's only there for a little bit, he's fantastic. I love that.
It's a
boy.
trap. It's a trap. It's a trap. That's all I want.
I have a feeling that Habbo will come back.
We'll see.
Am I wrong? I don't know. Let's find out on the next
We'll
episode.
find out
of
next
Made in
episode
Abyss.
of Made in Abyss. Blah.
I do like I appreciate like the supporting characters. Like we still get to see what they're doing like while they're in the abyss. Again, I don't know, like, again, with the whole logic of the abyss being, like, the longer you're in there, the you know, you might lose sense of time. It's, like, you might think it's a couple hours, and it's, like,
And spend
it's
a couple
been 10 years.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so, like, I like the whole flashbacks to, like, what they're currently doing in the situation that Rico and
I
Greg
kind
were.
of hope
I'm
that
just
they, like, gradually age a bit. That'd be cool.
Oh, God, no. They can't do that, or else I'm going to cry.
Oh, no.
If they do that, like...
Like, and then,
The
like,
only reason I'd accept it is if they reach the bottom, right, and then they send a letter up.
Well,
And
they already
then
sent a
the
letter
letter.
up.
Well, yeah, but that's. But I mean, they're still young there. Like once they
yeah.
reach the middle, they send it up, and it's like it's Kiwi already, like an old man reading it, and no one else, just Kiwi. And I'd be really sad. I'd be like, no, Kiwi.
that would be heartbreaking if, like, they
Yeah.
were they like spent too much time down there and they go back up and all their friends are like died of
Oh,
old
they're not
age.
coming back up unless there's something down there that makes them go back up.
Yeah.
I imagine there's going to be something. They have to. No.
Plot twist.
This show.
It's China. It's China.
They go down into China. That I hope that's what happens. They just end up on the
just
other
pop
side
out
of the
the
world.
other side of the world. That's lovely. Yeah, but do you think we're good with all these?
I'm good. Yeah.
Well, guys, you know what that means. Welcome
Oh, no, I forgot my-
to the 14th edition of Who's the Best Grill, the part of the podcast where each contestant puts forward their choice for Best Grill of the episode to duke it out for the title of Best Grill. Today, our contestants, once again, are Pino, Garb, and myself. Who are
Oh, no, my
each of you
deodorant.
advocating
Oh,
for?
I mean, hi.
Hello, Pino.
I'm going for the ever so wonderful Nanachi.
Garbalax.
I went with Ozen, the bitchy, hateful one.
And I went for Liza, the short, blonde, smart one.
You like them blonde ones.
Do you like them short ones?
I like them all.
But you also like the point.
You like the dead ones.
I'm never. She's not dead.
No, you're right. I mean, you never know.
We
There's
don't
two
know.
kinds of people in this world: those who believe that Liza's alive, and those who believe that she's fucking dead.
There's those who like her eyelashes, eye things that are around her
I
eyes,
fucking
and those
love
who
them.
don't.
They're so good.
I like them.
I
Yeah.
do too.
They're beautiful.
Okay, cool. At least we're the good type of people.
So, Pino, since
All right.
you're a child, talk about
I already
Minaj.
cried enough. Hands down, just best. God, like the amount of dedication one would have to save their one treasure, their one friend, is just the best attribute I could ever find in any person, let alone an anime character. Like if you treasure someone that much to the point that you're taking care of them and looking for a way to help them in any sort of way, and like sacrificing your own self in the process, like that is the most admirable trait that that's out there. And this is why Nanachi is my best girl. Just the sheer fact that she is a good.
I can't just shit on her.
Yeah, I can't.
Yeah,
Because she's cute.
I can't bring myself to
and
it.
she's nice and she's fantastic.
and she's sassy, and well, she can't cook. We can make fun of her cooking.
Yeah, she's shit at cooking, but also it's because she's
Yeah.
never had good food before.
She just
Also-
mixed the whole fish in there, bones and all.
Dude, gotta get that bone marrow.
Gotta get that, omega fish oil 3
Delicious.
Omega fish bone.
fish bone.
Tasty.
Dude.
Yeah, she's fuck.
Also bunnies, I guess.
I can't shit on her. I feel bad.
Shit on her
She's-
being a furry.
yeah.
We also, yeah.
This is gonna be a very short best girl segment.
Yeah, I know. This was too real.
Yeah.
Hey, Garb.
Who's-
since we're not
Garb, you
shitting
can go.
Since we're not shitting on
Yeah.
I don't think we're gonna be angry at anyone.
Nanachi, no.
I picked Ozen. Ozen's kind of a bitch, but she does it because she just doesn't want to see anyone get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she just wants to protect everyone. And, you know, she didn't want that damn kid to stay alive. She wanted her relic, but god damn it, she still saved that kid.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the kid was dead. You know,
Yeah.
But
She's a
not
good
really,
girl.
because she's alive.
Yeah. Well, she
she's
died
just
for a hot
she's just
second.
mean on
But-
the outside. That's all.
Yeah.
Just on the outside.
No, but if she was already dead, she wasn't already dead again. But she was never alive to begin with. so she
Redead
was
from
she's
Legend of
alive.
Zelda.
Dude,
Ah, I see.
is that
Sorry,
the sound
that's
a
how they
Redead
sound like,
makes?
right? Yeah. How about you just put a regular sound of a Redead? Or are we just keeping that in?
No, we're
No,
keeping
I'm
that.
leaving that in. That's too good. And
Oh.
I'm way too lazy to edit that.
Yeah, absolutely.
good.
Do you think I'm
Okay.
actually gonna go look for a sound file?
Oh,
idiot.
You're right. Only problem with Ozen, I don't want to be in a domestic violence situation.
Yeah, there's a little bit of
I'm okay with it. She can beat me.
like the bruises. I'm not okay with.
yeah, it's gonna be a little bit much, but
It's
you know,
fine.
he's
It's like, honey, did you wash the dishes? It's like, no.
Well, maybe I should have washed the fucking dishes then.
You're right.
yes.
But maybe you're just. It's been a long day. You've been messing with those monkeys in the inverted forest. And you just come home.
Those monkeys
wanna
are
sit-
creepy, dude.
You just want to, yeah, exactly. You just want to sit down and just talk to trap maid person over there, who just wash some clothes, touch some relics in the back, just like play around with this stuff.
Yeah.
And then Ozen's just like,
No.
I'm okay.
I
with
don't
it.
know.
She is quite tall, though. That is
I-
intimidating.
I do like
okay.
tall. I like.
she's also
tall.
very old.
Yeah,
So?
she's wicked old. I'm not saying that against her or anything, but she is
Yeah. but
she's wicked.
she's old.
That's fine.
Like I like the moments where she's like eating and then she had a cracker back after she finished. She's like, I was like, oh,
That's me.
Yeah.
God, what did you? Okay, you know what? Yes.
She's over 2 meters tall, which is
How much is that in American?
that's like six. That's at least 6'6", I think.
Holy shit. That is very tall.
Dang, swiping left.
Let me think. Yeah, it's over 6.5 feet tall. So that's like 6'6", 6'7", which is taller than me. Which is oof.
That's pretty impressive. You're pretty goddamn tall.
I'm a long boy.
You're LeBron tall.
boy.
I'm
Shout
not.
out to the king.
Shout out to the king. No, maybe LeBron's about the same height as Ozan for scaling. For scaling purposes,
Okay.
guys.
All right,
Power
LeBron
scaling.
is best grill. Just
Power scaling LeBron James.
okay. Let's put it. Let's make the scale. LeBron James is at the top, right?
Yeah, of course, obviously.
Who's
or
at the
near
bottom?
top. We got Pino at the bottom.
Where's Usopp?
No, we got
Usopp's way up
Pikachu.
there. It's top.
We got Pikachu at the bottom, right?
Yeah, bottom tier.
Pikachu.
He's bottom tier.
Pikachu's at the bottom. Usopp's slightly taller than me, I believe. So he's up there. He's like 5'6", 7', 8". We got Goku at about 6 probably.
Yeah.
No, Goku is
Goku's
only like
5'10", right?
no, he's like 5'9". He's like my height.
Okay, we got Goku Garb. We got Vegeta a little smaller than I am, so there he is, like 4'9", right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a shorty
He's
boy.
wicked short.
He's right there next to Lionel Messi, that soccer player that no one heard of.
I know him.
It was a joke.
Do you know where he is?
No.
Okay, Luigi.
I'm so confused.
You got to keep up with these shenanigans, my friend.
Dude, we remember when we were super serious about like 20 minutes ago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The reason why we're goofing so hard now is to get over it because we're so emotionally destroyed.
Don't worry about it,
This
guys.
is almost as sad as when Bobobo walked through the door and pushed his spoon wife to the floor.
We're going back to the hardware store.
You guys are from a hardware store.
Why are you making spoons?
It's spoons making spoons.
Okay, well,
The
let's...
rain stopped. Now we won't.
No, we
warp.
won't. Well, guys,
The
end. Let's get back to the Made in Abyss anime that
All right,
we're
your
supposed-
grill.
Yeah, I picked Liza. Liza's great. She's blonde. She has blue
No
eyes.
arguments there.
She has
Dude,
crazy
I love Mother
great
3.
eyes.
Other than her leaving her child, but hey, I guess that
She
makes
had
sense.
to. That's her job. It's
I mean, I
and
guess.
well, first off, she was mentored by Ozan, so that's
Yeah.
a plus to
That's-
Ozan. And she actually was the mentor for what's his name, leader, Jiro.
Jiro, blonde boy,
For a
or
second.
white hair boy.
Yeah. So that's also a really deep thing. That's why he cares so much about.
Little
Rico.
Rico.
Yeah, and then but like she was called literally Liza the Annihilator.
Dude,
wonder what she
Liza
does.
the Annihilator, Vash the Stampede.
Like ready?
Bobo,
there's a-
the Bowtector.
Yeah. From Jiro, he actually describes her a heavy drinker, quick to get into fights, always going too far with pranks, and you could never tell how honest she was being. On top of that, she had a brutally unbalanced diet. If she weren't a
Oh,
whistle,
man.
she would be just a regular weirdo. Really, she was quite a handful, and that's just like fantastic. She's just a
Dude, there's
person.
never a dull moment with her around.
Yeah, she's just
Yep.
fun, and like her smile is beautiful.
It is a romp with her.
Like, oh, boys. I don't know. She's just really fucking pretty, and it makes me happy whenever I see her.
A shame
I
that
like her
she's
voice.
dead.
She's
Okay, real talk.
alive.
Do you think that Liza's gonna be alive or dead at the bottom?
Alive.
She's alive.
I think
alive.
she's dead.
I think there's gonna be some kind of war between the white whistles or something because I don't like Bonehead.
Oh yeah.
Or
What's his
Bone
face?
Marrow.
Flingo
Bone
McDingo. Bonnaroo.
Bonnaroo.
Is that the
Bonnaroo.
black outfit guy that looks like
Yeah.
Daft Punk?
Yes.
Yeah. Shout outs to Daft Punk.
Guys,
Shout outs to Interstellar.
shout outs to the French people.
Shout outs to the song Face to Face.
Dude,
Dude.
shout out to baguettes.
Shout out to.
Shout outs to. Oh, I can't say that.
No, you
We'd have
cannot.
to-
No. I know exactly what you're saying. So, yeah.
I was just gonna say omelette de fromage.
Oh God, what have I done? I gotta go.
Can you say that one more time?
No.
I don't know. Liza's great. She makes me happy just seeing her.
I just wish the husband was still there. At least like.
Yeah, who the
then.
fuck is the dad?
Dad
He
just
was a
died.
black whistle, and he died on the journey to
I
get
thought you were
the
gonna say
bell.
he's a black man.
Shout outs to Dragon Ball Super.
Dragon Ball Super.
Don't shoot.
Do not shoot. That man is
It's
not,
not
black.
black. Thanks, Trunks.
Thanks, Trunks. Thank God. I love. It's so stupid, but yeah, I just love her. She's great. I love her eyes.
All right. Well, that's our best grills.
Yeah,
I
guys,
guess.
that was totally best grills. We totally didn't go on about different things and goof and gaff and talk about
Have a
bullshit.
full laugh.
But if you actually want to email us about anything, like just email us at funkyAnimePodcast@gmail.com. Once again, funkyAnimePodcast@gmail.com. We will read it on the air. Just fucking send us whatever.
You can add us on Twitter too as the three A-Weebros.
No,
or
not
is it just
no,
three
It's just
A-Weebros?
at 3A-Weebros.
Yeah, I
Spelled
had some
out
trouble finding it
H-R-E.
earlier today. I was trying to look up like Funky Anime Podcast. I was like, what the fuck? I can't find it. It's just because I was a dumbass. That's why.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Yeah, but that's the best grill. So before we roll into the ratings, do we have any last things we want to talk about before we wrap
I
this
think
boy
I've
up?
got a couple things
Go
written
for
down.
it, my man.
Let's see. So, do we know exactly what the fuck being hollow in this means?
I really don't know.
Hollow, isn't that the thing that like when you go up you lose your humanity and like you become
death,
an empty
death or
shell
loss
of what you were?
humanity. Yeah.
Yeah. Is that what hollow was? Because like that's what Nanachi was, right? She's a hollow?
Yeah.
Yeah, she's a hollow.
Okay, yeah. So it's just I guess a being that is no longer human or who was human and lost their humanity.
That's weird.
Mm-hmm.
That's weird to believe.
Yeah. But she's still human. The personality's in there.
Yeah, she's still sassy.
Yeah. She likes medicine. Okay. Next.
Let's see.
Uh,
I got one.
Go
ahead.
for it.
The headmistress. Remember that one lady in the beginning?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
the
she's a
creepy
bitch.
lady?
The creepy lady. She has a similar color scheme as our Ozen. Is there like some sort of like maybe there's like a sort of like relationship?
Maybe that's
there?
Ozen's
Like, maybe-
mom.
Damn, that's old.
Damn, that she must
Maybe
be
it's just-
fucking super old then.
Could be sister, maybe. I don't know.
We
It's just their color schemes and
It
their
seems really
whole
similar,
being
yeah, I get
angry.
that.
Yeah,
The
they're very
only
angry
note
at each other.
I have on episode 11 is those bear things with the shrooms are crazy.
Oh right.
That's all I wrote.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah, I guess it was cool that like the reason I wrote that like I meant to like imply that hey, use your brain to remember what you were thinking here, and it worked. And what I was thinking of was how like they explained like the symbiotic relationship they had. I was like, man, it's cool that they like thought all this stuff out. I was like, man, that's cool.
Well, they have to, or else the world would not be as
Oh,
wonderful.
yeah.
I know the big thing that I wanted to talk about. It just hit me again, and it's the fact that everything in the story revolves around the abyss. Every single detail goes back to the abyss. Whereas shows like, as an example, Dragon Ball, like you don't know what the fuck's going on in each different arc. It's always about something different. Usually, it's just about Goku wanting to get into a fight.
It's Goku.
But-
No, it's half Goku being out and then Goku becoming strong boy and
Hey,
then
Yamcha.
fighting.
And then like in Kill la Kill, it was like, oh, I have to avenge my dad. And then just like everything got crazy and no one knew what the fuck they were fighting for.
They were fighting clothes.
Yeah, exactly. That's how stupid it is. But I guess One Piece is kind of good in that they're always just looking for the next thing that like people are
I
talking
would
about.
go into specifics. I guess I will.
Yeah, that's fine. Go ahead, man.
Several, like even though there's like several arcs in One Piece, right?
Just a few.
There's always just a few. There's always a key component that like brings them all together. Everything kind of revolves around anything to do with Roger and his journey, and so to speak. It's either about what Roger knows, what Roger's seen, what Roger's done, or what he knows about the government. I'm just like, okay,
Yeah.
like and having interconnections like that is like the best. Like I love that.
Pino, can you
I love that.
explain to people who Rogers is? Just
Goldie Roger was the king of the pirates. He was the one who, like Liza, made it to the center of the world. In this case, made it to the last
Line.
island in the Grand Line in the New World, which is part 2 of the Grand Line. And then came back and died and said, "Hey, yo, my treasure's there." He basically sent everyone a letter. Lol, bye.
yeah.
It's like, you guys want treasure? Go get it. Bye.
The opening for the first opening for One Piece is just him narrating, or not him, but he has a couple lines in it, and that's just I do like having that center focus to have, you know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But like everything in this show, like the fact that Reg's arm extends, you know, is very useful whenever he's going into the abyss. You know,
I need to learn
just
what
like
kind of metal his arm is made of.
it's special metal. It's yeah.
Because like it extends, it retracts, it can withhold like
Dude,
one of those...
it's one of those Chinese finger traps.
Oh god, don't remind me. Those are the strongest thing on the planet. Not even Goku could break it. But Vegeta might. No, Vegeta can't either. He'll be too angry.
I had a lot of guesses in my notes where I said, like, gonna take a shot in the dark here and guess that Mr. Black Suit Man genetically engineered Nanachi and Midi to be creatures that can withstand coming back from the depths of the abyss, and that's how they got to where they are now. Midi and Nanachi were picked for whatever reason. I was kind of close, not really.
You were close, yeah. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I read this, but after watching 13 and being a little sad about life, I don't know where I was reading it. It probably wasn't like a reliable source, but like, and it's probably more spoilers into the manga thing, but it was like apparently like you turn into what you like the most, which is very weird because Midi turned into like, you turned into your heart's desire or something like that. I don't know, but like it, like that they were trying to justify why Nanachi became a bunny, and why Midi was Midi.
Well, a bunch of the other kids turned into the globby things too.
Exactly. So like I don't know, maybe there's like some sort of it's probably like maybe the willpower or something like that. It's like that makes you go through it, or like
maybe it's just like she had a clear goal, or maybe she had like a pure heart or whatever. I don't know. Maybe that's too Dragon.
Nimbus. Maybe, I don't know, but like there's something going on here.
Yeah, I looked on the wiki and like accidentally like I realized like it had like the listing of like status resurrected for Rico, and I was like, oh, I can't be looking at this wiki. There was like a Twitter post the other day where like someone was like they're looking on the wiki at their favorite character, and it says like status deceased, and they're like, well,
fuck.
Well, great.
Welcome to fucking Dragon Ball, where it's like, oh, died, resurrected, died, resurrected, died, resurrected,
Dragon Ball death means nothing.
Oh yeah,
Made in Abyss, it means everything.
Oh, it means literally fucking everything. Oh no, Made in Abyss, I just love.
I like the whole explanation to why you get the layers, like the sickness layer, the layer sickness. Like when you rise above. I like that. I like shedding some light on that, because like I know it was like. It's an anime. Like, we should just be like, okay, we should accept anime physics in this world. But like having a nice explanation as to why like going up a couple feet is making you bleed out of your stomach areas, it kind of makes me feel better about this thing.
Yeah.
The fact that what was the animal thing that had the poison stingers? I'll just call him Porcupine.
The old
Spiky
orb.
Spike Boy.
It's like orb something.
Yeah, orb annihilator, orb poker, orb.
OGG Vorbis.
The best.
I'll just call him. Yeah, I'll just call him Orbis. I liked the whole idea of that monster being able to kind of like anticipate your moves, or technically kind of like see into the future. Again, I know I'm like a broken record on this, but this is just another thing that's reminded me of One Piece. I'm like, okay, cool, seeing into the future. Got you. You're just this character right here, but a lot less scarier. Well, actually, no, equal amount of scary. But yeah, no, like anything remotely similar to Dragon Ball or One Piece, I'll fangirl over any day.
Chala, Chala, who did the monkey boo? I'm looking at Midi's wiki page, and it says class human (parentheses formerly).
Oh,
formerly. She's given up her humanity.
The one thing that I actually really liked about like Pino and I talked about this a bit before, but Nanachi actually doesn't have a specified gender at this point.
I kind of assumed she was a girl, but now I realize
I kind of assumed she's a girl too.
I just say that they because I probably called them her a lot, but in the manga it is like in the manga they've used they and them, and they've actually used more masculine connotations. But the anime actually opted to try and keep that gender neutral. So I thought that was actually a really
Interesting.
cool thing that I forgot
Lots of
about
little
until right
details in the shows.
now. Especially this one.
Mm-hmm.
Do we got anything else we want to talk about before we just wrap
Nah.
right this in?
No,
I'm good.
we already talked about the pacing, and
Yeah.
it was just weird kind of pacing for me.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
it was
get
just
it.
really quick. Which I mean, hey, after
it was
going
quick
from,
and then slow. And
yeah,
then
well, going from
quick
Dragon
and-
Ball to this, like it's lightning quick.
Oh yeah.
Wait. Nanachi makes a brief cameo on Pop Team Epic's episode 2. What?
Yeah,
I'll have to rewatch that.
I forgot to say that.
Foreshadowing.
She's actually the thingy. Okay.
So now that we've talked about everything and anything that we want to talk about,
Well, we've got to rate it.
let's just get into rankings, shall we?
All right. You can go first, Garb.
I was actually thinking about this earlier, so I would be prepared. So I'm not gonna give it as high as you might think, simply because I want to see what season 2 does. But I'm gonna rank this on its own a little bit too. I'm gonna give it a 3.8, which is
That's
still pretty high, you know. But I want to see, like, whenever this product is finished, I want to judge it again as a whole, and then
Yeah,
I will be
it'll
quite
definitely
satisfied.
change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty good.
What about you, Pino?
So just to apologize to all the people out there who may be angry at me. And by
Whatever.
that I mean like one. I, with the many complaints I had about this, doesn't really, I guess it's not an accurate representation of how much I actually really do enjoy the show. Because I do enjoy it very much. Like, again, it's got a lot of things that I like. It's got a lot of characteristics that I like. It just has a lot of things that I feel like maybe could have done better. Maybe under circumstances I understand it better. You know, if the characters just didn't make me angry all the time, I would have been all right with that. But you know, it's a good time. Like I recommend you should watch it, formulate your own opinion, and you know, here's me giving you my opinion. I want to give this again as a standalone, episodes 1 through 13.
I'm rubbing my hands together, waiting for this.
Well, I think what did I give Kai last week? I gave that a 3.4, right?
I don't know.
I wanna
I have it in a
check
Google
that.
Doc somewhere.
Probably
Yeah,
gave it a
I
3.4.
have the Google Docs right here. You gave it
I want to give this a
You gave-
3.65. I'm going into the double digits.
God damn it. It's gonna-
Okay, fine. I'll just give it a 3.6.
Okay.
My teachers never rounded up for me. Why should I? I'm just kidding. I'm giving it that, which is, I think, in my opinion, it's pretty okay. Like, not in as in rating, because like I could have rated it a little lower, but I like the potential it's showing me. It's got a lot of things good going for it. Perhaps the hype, everyone overhyping it, for me personally, maybe might have affected me a little bit. Like going into it, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna cry like so early on.
I heard something on Twitter when like I made some shit posts about it, a couple, and someone told me like, oh, it gets better, just wait, you know. So I feel
Like
like
I was talking to a friend of mine, and I was like, I think I just finished episode 5, and then he's like, wait, you're not sad in any way? I'm like, no, I'm a little more unsettled and angry, to be honest. He's like, oh, just wait till the next episode. And the next episode happened. I'm like, no,
I'm even more angry.
I'm still here. And they're like, just wait for episode 10. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I get it. Her arm had to come off, I guess. I was still a little angry though. She's like, damn. And then when I saw Midi, I'm like, okay, you won. And I didn't even know her story. I was like, you won. I could feel it. So in that regard, yeah, it's just like people overhyping it for me. I shouldn't have listened. I should have just went in with a clear, open mind. But that's why I give it a 3 point. What did I say, 6? Yeah,
3.6, yeah.
All right, Chuck,
What
what you got?
You know, I fucking love all anime, and this was a great anime, and it made me feel sad and happy and everything. And like you heard me, like I literally cried the first episode because I'm so emotionally distraught. But like, I'm giving it a 4.4 because I really enjoyed it. Like
It's one of the higher ones.
Well, it's not
right up there with Kenmo.
No, I made sure to have it a couple points higher than Kenmo because oh boys. But Made in Abyss is such a unique experience in anime that I feel like everyone should at least have the chance to experience this this like, I wouldn't say it's phenomenon, but like this special experience that it provides, and
This journey.
the journey is very unique in its own way. So I feel that with Made in Abyss, like even just one season of it, it's great. It is something that I will recommend to anyone. I won't, like, to Pino, like, I won't try and overhype it. I'll just say, like, you know, it's really good.
Show them the opening, and then
Show them the opening.
You like this? Watch it. Do you want
Yeah,
your
like
heart and
this?
soul ripped out straight out of your fucking chest? Check it out.
Check it out. Maybe have a tea ready or some tissues or something. You know. Just,
Yeah.
I had
it's-
to have tissues. I had to go into the bathroom.
Oh, yeah.
And cry.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
I if I'm gonna cry, I'll just let the tears fall
yeah.
down like
No,
I did episode 13. I'm like,
Everything
okay,
went out. Yeah.
let it go. Waterfalls.
Yeah, I just fucking love this show a lot. There are a lot of good characters. There's a lot
It's
of
a good
good
one.
atmosphere, and I just had a great time with it. So,
It really does, like at the end of episode 13, like I wanted more. Like I was ready to like sell myself to reading, which I don't do a lot, which I should. I was like, I'm gonna read this. Like I want to learn more. And then I remember like, oh, but do I want to cry as bad as
yeah,
I did?
exactly.
Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait for season 2. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
I'm getting ready for we watch enough anime to where I lose track of how many times I've cried watching anime on this podcast.
Oh, we can make a list.
Dude, put that on the spreadsheet.
Put that on the wiki.
Yeah, put that on the Beard Bros wiki though.
What?
Just so that they're confused.
What? Yeah,
They're like, what the? Who are these guys? Jokesters.
There's no sharks.
Okay, so that was a great time. We had a lot of fun watching it, and we got emotional doing this. This
That's an
stupid
understatement
show.
of the century, my
I
friend.
had choked up a couple times, and I had to just. Oh God! Thank goodness I stopped talking.
Yeah, I'm just glad I like.
This is a heavy. We're gonna have to have like a viewer discretion advised at the start.
Please bring your tissues.
This podcast became a different kind of funky.
Can Pino be the warning guy? The viewer
guys.
viewer discretion Pino.
Hey, I'm angry about this, but I'm also sad, so just bring tissues by.
Yeah, so that was the podcast this week. But what are we gonna watch next time?
Ooh, next time I'm gonna take you boys to a trip to the wonderful Ikebukuro.
Bless
We're
you.
gonna watch We're gonna watch Durarara season 1.
Dude,
Do you remember? No, come on, that's easy.
Let's just call him Dura. We're gonna watch Duran Duran next week. All
Dude,
their
her-
live performances.
Guys, her name is Rio, and she dances on the sea.
dude, you mean Juran?
Dude, we're gonna watch Dio Brando. No,
Guys-
we're watching season 1 of Durarara.
Guys, this was a good episode.
It was.
We did a lot of good things, and we got emotional, and that's okay. So
I justify the length of this episode now.
yeah.
This is if you don't listen to any of our other
Oh my god, it was 2
podcasts
hours
fully,
long.
listen to this one. This was
Yeah.
really good.
Thanks for sitting through this entire one. We really had a lot of fun doing this one. So remember, if you want to email us at all, you can email us at funkyanimetodcast@gmail.com. You can find us over on Twitter at 3 A-Weebros. And you can find us all individually on our own Twitters, like Upchuck Gaming, Pindo Plan 2.
You can find us
Garbalax.
just by looking on the Funky Anime Podcast
Yeah.
Twitter, or
Yeah.
the 3 Weebros Twitter, because like there were a couple things like you tweeted about me shit posting about this, so like you find all of this on there.
Yeah,
if
so
you're
it's-
curious and want
yeah.
to harass me on the internet, I would be please indulge.
Please
You
indulge.
can try and harass me. I forget my social media.
Just, thanks for watching or listening, because this was great, and
This is a heavy one.
this was a heavy one, but it was a good one. So,
Don't worry, we'll be angrier next.
well, guys, we'll see you in a couple weeks, because we'll be seeing Durarara, and we'll see you all guys then.
See you boys later.
Bye.
Bye. Wait, you didn't outro
Oh
us.
fuck. Oh boy.
How are we supposed
Coming
to
up from the
reinforce them
abyss.
Yeah.
to know who's who?
Just,
Don't forget.
Shoot. I'm the white whistle that got pushed over by a small child into the abyss, and I'm falling. So.
There he goes. How is he gonna outro us? I'm the blue whistle, if I remember correctly. I'm
Yes.
here putting flowers on the tomb bones of my friend. I miss you.
And then the bones.
The bone.
reanimate themselves, and now they're just a dancing skelly
Did you
boy.
put me in the cube?
Yeah,
I'm back.
Yeah.
You're a dancing skelly boy. You don't have skin. You're just a skeleton.
God, you just spoiled One Piece again.
Okay, guys, for real this time. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
We've been the Funky Anime Podcast. We listen to anime. We're 3 Weebros. See you guys later.
Later.